All right, I wanted to take a minute to just share with you some of the details about the social coming up this tomorrow, Friday. So here it is. First one, beginning the social at 12:34. Students are going to be returning to first period. So the teachers, what you're going to have is the students are going to bring you during fourth period. They're going to bring you a ticket to be redeemed for a Fudgsicle, Twin Pop, and Dreamsicle for each student in your first period class. Okay, at 12:38ish, I'm going to come on and make an announcement regarding the general rules of the social, and students will be released. Okay, students will need to take all of their belongings to their locker except for a water bottle. One of the options is to go to the auditorium. Students will be watching The Sandlot. So at 12:45, the movie will start, and Mr. Fawcett is going to be the guy who does that. We're going to need adults that are near the door to make sure students aren't constantly coming and going, so to minimize that disruption. And we also need adults to sit within the audience just to make sure the junior high kids aren't doing what junior high kids do. If kids want to leave to redeem a popsicle, that's fine. The popsicles cannot be consumed in the auditorium, though, so as no food or drink are allowed in there. If you also notice kids with gum, let's have them spit that out, too. That's one of the things that's not allowed in there as well. Bouncy house general rules. So if you're one of the adults responsible for working at the bouncy houses, these are some of the rules that are going to go along with that. So for both of them, you want to do a safety check at least every 30 minutes to make sure the baffles are secure. The baffles where the blower is attached, they must be as straight as possible. So when you take a look at that, just make sure everything looks good on those and give it a check every 20 to 30 minutes. If the wind is up to 20 miles an hour, we're going to turn those off and we're going to discontinue the use and find something else for the kids to do. I don't see that in our weather forecast, though. There is no, these are specifically from the people we're renting from, no silly string, no confetti, no gum, no candy, shoes, food, sharp objects, face paint, or anything like that is permitted within the unit. So don't let kids bring it in there. If you're the one in the Hippo Chow Down bouncy house, we're going to have 4 people in there at a time. I got a picture of it there on the right. Make sure the waist straps are strapped and secured before you give the commands ready, set, go. There needs to be an adult in that pen who is basically the official who makes that call and kind of makes sure the kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing. We need additional adults outside helping with the line of kids waiting to get in to participate. Once again, no shoes, no sharp objects in the pig pen, and no food or drink. If you're doing the slide, again, no shoes, no sharp objects. We want to form that line in the middle, and because it's a 2-person slide, when 2 people come out, 2 people can enter the slide, and we want them to go feet first. Once again, no food or drink in the slide. If you're going to be in the library, this place is meant to be a quieter place for kids to go. There's going to be some kids who just want to get away. So we want the students who want to do that. They can go in there, they can read a book, they can check out board games to play, they can play card games. They're not to be on the computers, though. Okay, that's one of the things we don't want them to do, is to just spend an hour and a half or 2 hours playing on the computer. So we want them in there. It's supposed to be a quiet place, kind of like lunch, but a little bit quieter. Renaissance is doing an activity. Basically, the adults that are going to be there just need to be crowd controlled. The kids are doing an activity, I believe, with gummy bears and Reddi-wip, where the kids find the gummy bears and the Reddi-wip. It should be a fun one. Just need you there for crowd control. And if you want to participate, go ahead and do that. The outside participation out there for basketball and then the other sports, kids will be playing basketball. There's also other things. I think there's volleyballs in there. There's soccer balls. There's footballs. I've got it highlighted there and right at the right where the kids can be. Make sure they stay within those boundaries. We need a staff member to get the sports ball cart from the safe in the main office, and just make sure they're staying within those boundaries and make sure all the kids are constantly being supervised. The popsicle distribution. Every kid is going to receive a ticket. This is the one I talked about earlier. These are the ones that my leadership students are going to bring around to you during 4th period on Friday. The ticket on the back has the student's name. You see Yanni's name here. And then on the flip side, there's a number. Every kid has a unique number. They're on a spreadsheet, just to wanted to make sure every kid gets one. So we have one for everybody. Every student will be receiving this red ticket. The ticket has they keep this coupon attached to it as well. If you're collecting these, if you're part of the popsicle distribution, you're going to collect that whole thing from them. So Yanni would turn in the ticket and the coupon, and he would get one either Twin Pop, Fudgsicle, or Dreamsicle. At that same station, there's going to be water and some flavored beverages. I have some lemonade. I think I'm going to have some Tang and maybe some grape flavored juice as well too. We'll see how that goes. Those will be available as well next to the popsicle. We'll need additional adults to be able to fill those for the kids. We're not providing cups. That's why we're having the kids bring water bottles instead. Make sure we're not wasting that stuff. When we end the social, the buses start arriving. There may actually be a bus that gets here about 2:15. We just want to make sure that the kids are out of the way. We have to stop their game for a little bit so the buses can get through. At about 2:25, 2:30, the buses really start rolling in, and that's when we'll have to start getting kids off of the bus paths right there, the bus parking lot. The movie also ends at 2:25, so kids will start coming out. We don't want them to re-enter the halls until 2:30, and once we do that, once 2:30 hits, the students just go back, they get their bags, they get their stuff, and then they leave. So that's how we're going to wrap up the social. Just a few other things, some final notes right here. The dress code policy, same normal school rules apply. Kids should be wearing what they wore to school. That's school appropriate. Cell phones the students shouldn't have their cell phones out, but if a student specifically asks the teacher, hey, can I take a picture with my cell phone, and the staff member says yes, then the student can use that phone for that one situation. So once the picture's been taken, the phone needs to be put back away. Okay, it needs to be out of sight after that. Restrooms, final one right here. Only restrooms available are the ones across from the library. So I believe that is it for my show right here. Thank you for making it all the way to the end.